Hey guys, my name is Derek Johnson. I just wanted to make this quick video today because I was supposed to have a speaking engagement in a town here in South Dakota, but unfortunately, due to the foot of snow that we got, that speaking engagement was canceled, so I'm kind of bored right now, and I wanted to get a message out today. Anyway, some of you know my story, and for those of you that don't know my story, in 2007 I was tackled in a varsity football game. Now in this game, I was tackled and I ended up tearing my ACL, PCL, LCL. I tore a nerve, stretched a nerve, and pinched an artery. And when I pinched that artery, I was without blood flow to the leg for more than 10 hours. Most of the muscle in my calf ended up dying, and the doctors had to go in every 2 to 3 days and remove all that dead tissue out of my leg. And I spent 6 weeks in the Mayo Clinic. I was airlifted from my hometown in Aberdeen, South Dakota to Rochester, Minnesota to the Mayo Clinic. And I spent 6 weeks in the Mayo Clinic. 4 weeks was spent in a fixator. 6 weeks were spent there all together. And so I just had a struggle that I went through trying to hold on to my leg and trying to rehab it as much as I possibly can. Physical therapy, water therapy, laser therapy. We did pretty much everything we could to try to save my leg. But after a year and 3 months, it really wasn't worth saving the leg. I had a pain in the bottom of my foot, hypersensitivity on the bottom part of my foot, and the top part of my foot. I could not feel it all. So it was just a real struggle that I had. I was carrying around a lot of dead weight, to say the least, with that leg. And the best option for me was to go ahead and amputate my leg 6 inches below the knee. So that's the route that we ended up taking. And ever since then, things have gotten a lot better. I used to struggle with a lot of things, though. There was a time where I went into a depressive mode. I was on medication that was altering my mindset. I was struggling because it was a whole new lifestyle for me. I went from being a 4-sport athlete to not even competing at all. So I really struggled with that, finding my identity, who I was, and I had a lot of questions, and I just didn't know if those questions could be answered. So that's why I wanted to make this video today, is because there's going to be a lot of people that have questions, especially high school kids and college kids, and unfortunately they're not going to get those answers that they want. Or they're not going to actually ask the questions, is what I really want to say. And I just want to encourage you guys to go out and ask questions, because you're going to be constantly doing that for the rest of your life to yourself, and you're just going to be too insecure, if you're anything like me, that is, to go out and ask people questions, because you have this tendency to believe that you're supposed to know everything right now at this moment. Young men do this a lot. We think that we should know everything and that we have to know everything, and when we don't know it, we end up feeling insecure about it, and we end up having a lot of anxiety build up, because we could have just simply asked the question and got the answer to it. Rather than building it all up and just pretending that we do know what's going on in the world today. And that's where I was when I struggled with my leg, and before amputation, and even during or even after the amputation, was with just wondering, what's the future going to bring me? What's next? I had so many people around me that had similar stories to what happened to them, struggles that they've been through, and I wish I would have just asked them the question, what should I do here? What should I do next? Where should I be with my mindset? I know I'm going to be struggling for about 2 years here. How can I make this the best 2 years within this situation that I'm in right now? And one of my favorite quotes that I love to use and that I've heard, I don't remember who quoted it, but the quote is, "To know the road ahead, ask those coming back." And there's so many people around you that you don't realize have answers to your questions. So I just want to encourage you guys, whoever you are, wherever you're at in your age of life, to consider asking questions to somebody older than you. Ask some questions to somebody who's been through a struggle that you've been through, and you never know, they might have an answer for you that you're currently not aware of. So I just want to encourage you to do that, because there's so many people out there with a lot of intelligence that they can translate to you and help you out with. Ask an old person, a really old person. I love hanging out, talking, conversating with 80-year-old people. Just because they don't know how to use an iPhone doesn't mean that they don't have some knowledge to give to you. Just because they don't know how to use a MacBook does not mean that they have something doesn't mean that they don't have something to offer to you. So I just want to encourage you guys to ask questions and know that you're going to be constantly learning throughout your whole life. And where you're at right now with your misunderstanding of certain things is going to help you someday dramatically, because with that misunderstanding, you understand that you don't understand, which is a good thing, which will increase you to want to help others out with their misunderstanding, if that makes sense. But I hope this video is helpful, and I hope you all have a great day, and I hope if you're in the north that you stay warm, and thank you for listening.